Welcome to Deep Dive Daily.
Good morning. I'm a mess this morning. This is a very, very high intensity match here between Miss Swiatek and Miss Sabalenka. We are at deuce in the first game of the second set. Sabalenka is up 1-0. I have Sabalenka money line. I have Sabalenka 2-1. I have some over, and I have some Coco outright. So I am hoping for 7-6 Iga in the second set, and then 7-6 Sabalenka to close things out.
Tired themselves out for Boisson.
Les boissons, les boissons. He, ha, ha, ha. I'll tell you this, man. The second serves, particularly the Swiatek second serves, have been auto points for the opponent. There has been very, very, very clear tactical advantage for both returners when they are receiving a second serve. It is wild to see. Sabalenka is moving on the court like she is in molasses. So it's not even like, and we're I don't even remember the longest rally we've seen. There just haven't been many. Iga is going for the margins and missing a lot. And her service is a huge, huge problem. I mean, Sabalenka looks more confident on return than she does on serve, which is freaking wild. And I think we are a long way from the finish line. I honestly, neither of these performances to this point should inspire much confidence that the player that comes through is just going to be some sort of dynamo in the final. So there's that, I think, for any Coco supporters out there. We do need to give
you get the
morning.
You get the time off. You get the time off.
Yeah, we do need to give a special good morning, Andy, to Los Petroleros.
I know I tried to stay up. I was so tired for yesterday for some reason. Didn't catch overtime. I just assumed it wasn't. I just assumed it wasn't going to go my way.
Oh, the real losers were the people who stayed up for overtime and made it into like the last 30 seconds, and they were like, "I guess we're just going to go to a second overtime," and they got up to get another beer, and then they missed the game-winning goal.
Yeah.
Not me, but I'm sure it happened to some people. It was a good hockey game. It felt like the third period in overtime, the ice was tilted one way. I mean, the shot disparity was massive. I don't think there's many takeaways from that. I mean, you could probably take away a positive for either team if you wanted to.
I mean, I think the positive was we scored some goals. If you're Florida, you can hang with this team even on the road. And the positive for the Oilers were, Jesus Christ, we didn't lose one at home. Like if you lose that in overtime at home, that's a pretty rough one, especially after
Knicks game one-esque.
Yeah, after the comeback. And yeah, Draisaitl with a nice game. So McDavid all the way down to what? 5-1, 6? No, he's minus 150 still because it's Connor McDavid and it's the playoffs in general.
Did you watch the game as proper? And try to? Do you have an opinion on the quality of the play you're seeing? Because I'm obviously watching.
What do I compare it to? The 0 hockey games I watched all year.
Yeah.
I literally did not watch a regular season hockey game. I've watched more college hockey still than I've watched pro hockey this year.
Yeah. My problem is I don't even know how to watch, right? Like if you're watching football and you're obviously locked in on what is the quarterback doing, because that's going to tell you a lot about what's going to happen on the play, successful or otherwise. I can't even really pick McDavid up. I'm like, is he on the ice? Is he not on the ice? Is he in the wing? Is he in the center?
He's a big guy. He's fast.
He's a big guy, but they're all big. They're all fast. Like I can't pick them out. And I guess people who know what they're watching are just blown away or impressed by how he's skating, and it's that much better than the next best guy. But I'm not.
It's funny
I'm not
too.
Seeing it, but I'm also
we're
also looking through Draisaitl colored glasses.
Yeah, and it's funny because I think it was Mr. Peanut Butter on Twitter brought it up. He said something that made me think about how, like, I'm a casual and I don't fully. It's like when you start watching an Olympic sport that you haven't watched for 4 years, or maybe you've never watched at all, and they do something, be like, was that a good thing or was that a bad thing, or was that strategy or was that a fuck up you don't understand all the time? He
Yeah.
said something about dumping it in the zone, like just when they dump it in.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I just have no idea when that is like the correct move, and like when it was like, oh, that was a good dump in or a bad dump in. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Like whenever they call a penalty, I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just-
that looked a
They
clear
do mean
penalty.
things. They do mean physical things to each other all the time, and then suddenly
Yeah.
it's like, well, but that one was a bit too much.
Yeah. I mean, did he have a tweet like, "This is like soccer on ice with an invisible ball"?
Was that Fezzik? Was that a
I believe
Fezzik
it
tweet?
was. Yeah, that was a classic.
I've actually avoided Twitter a little bit this morning because you cannot mute enough people to get rid of the poker stuff. I'm just gonna let that
still have
I'm gonna let that waft
again,
away until I get back into it.
another
I'm gonna drop a
example,
tweet if I think something's funny. I'll go
another
tweet it, then I'll go
example of I couldn't be happier not to know what in the fuck is going on. This would be an occupying part of my brain that I can't afford to occupy with something so mean.
I don't think it would. It's so stupid. It doesn't matter. Like it's literally, it matters to 8 people, and they're tweeting about it a lot, and then it's drawing some people in. So
a flush does beat a straight, and that feels wrong. It feels wrong. A straight feels like it should be more impressive than a flush, but a flush beats a straight.
I mean, there's just more. There's more ways. Yeah, there's more ways
it.
to make it straight. It's easier to do.
I guess.
You know, I joked about that on like because people are like, I'm going through the hand history. We're going through the hand history. I'm like, okay, have fun with that.
Good luck.
I
don't even know what you're. I still don't know what you're talking about.
Thinning my radishes.
I'm going to be working on a presentation that I haven't started that has today at 2:00. So
I need to find some
that's what I'll be doing.
I planted a shitload of peas. You know the soft peas that you get in like stir fry?
Yeah.
I planted a bunch
snow
of
peas.
Snow peas.
Yeah.
I planted a bunch of those.
Yeah.
And then it was one of those like Andy future problems thing. Because when you do them, you plant them in double rows, about 5-6 inches apart. And then you do another double row about a foot away. Yeah. And you got to put a fence in or something for it to climb.
Yeah, you put 2 stakes and you put twine.
But I didn't do that because I'm like, I don't have that. But well, I know, but I'm like, these are seeds. They don't need them today. And I get out to the garden last night, and all of them are like 4 inches tall. Well, not yet. But it's like, oh shit! Like Andy's got to do something before all these pea plants just fall over on each other. Those are. I think last time I planted those, I didn't even harvest any. It was just what I ate while I was in the garden.
Yeah, you don't need just to do wood stakes and
I have a bunch of
twine. Yeah, easy. All right, let's talk a little more tennis and then move on to some NBA finals talk. The Novak Djokovic Alexander Zverev match yesterday was fucking awesome. Not just because of the outcome, but the match itself was way entertaining. That was the best. I'm going to go out on a limb. That was the best primetime match we've had so far. The primetime matches have been mega busto. They've been terrible for the most part.
I actually disagree.
Which one?
I thought it
good?
was.
What, am I forgetting of a good one?
No, I thought the Novak Zverev match was incredibly boring.
Oh,
because I had the script.
Oh yeah, you knew because
I mean, when you know what's going to happen,
it was deja vu all over again. It was deja vu all over again.
It was very similar to
every other slam. It was
every other exit
for him. Every other slam out that Zverev has had, and similar to every other slam Djokovic up against a lively challenger.
Raises his level,
where he dumps the first and then dumps it in the zone.
It was a very good match. It was super fun.
Yeah, that was a good one. There were some amazing points there. Ultimately, coming through now, I have a fair price on Sinner at -324. The market was very enthusiastic to bet some Sinner, and the market is very sure that Sinner is going to win this in straight sets, and I disagree, Andy. I think it is a. I was going to say
it feels like another 3-1.
It does. It feels like 3-1 Sinner through and through. Over 3.5 sets looks like a bet. Over 36.5 games is a big miss by my numbers. So not exactly sure what the deal is there. Why there's
Well, but yeah, when Joker dumps a set, he doesn't dump it 6-2, 6-1. Like
no,
he's not doing
he's
the
not
thing
getting
where he's like,
broken
I'm down a break. I'll punt
his,
here, whatever.
I think his hold percent on clay is the best on tour right now, which is crazy because his serve is good, but it's not that good.
Yeah.
His hold percentage and the way he, the way he, like, good example.
Well, I mean, it's the opposite of the match today. His second serve isn't fucking garbage.
Yeah. Yes. His second serve is not a monumental liability. Oh my god. Just a broken to love from Sablink there. What the hell was that? Goodness gracious. I need to stop watching. I can't focus. All right. So yeah, over the games in the Sinner Djokovic match looks like a bet to me. Sinner 3-1 looks like fair expectation. Tiebreak, yes.
You followed the market a little closer on this.
Yeah.
The Tiafoe match, his final match, did that over get steamed and then middle essentially?
Yeah. Yes.
Because I saw people celebrating it over 36.5, and I saw people celebrating it under 38.5.
Yes.
And I didn't really follow the market. I'm like, oh my God, did that land just perfect for people? Apparently.
Yes. Yeah, that was an ideal outcome. What else we have to comment on tennis? I guess not much.
No, let's get into tonight's game.
The Thunder.
What matchups do we need to go perfectly for the Pacers to keep it within 10?
I mean, I think you need to hit your corner threes. Make your corner threes. That's it, really.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. I honestly have. I gotta be honest. I haven't thought a lot about this series or this matchup because I don't think it's really worth spending a lot of time thinking about. This feels again a little bit like we have the script here. I'll be surprised if this is a 6 or 7 game series.
What is your fair price on a sweep?
Great question. I guess here's some sincere matchup thoughts though, as we're kind of thinking about this on the fly. The general advantage that the Pacers have had in the Eastern Conference Finals to this point were twofold. Number one, they had the best offensive player on the court in every series they've been in so far. Okay. Halliburton was a better player offensively than Giannis. He's a better player than Mitchell. He was a better player. He is a better player than Brunson. It was narrow in all 3 cases, but they at least had the best offensive player on the court. They also had coaching head-to-head advantage as Carlisle coached Doc Rivers into a box, coached circles around your coach of the year, Kenny Atkinson, and got Tom Thibodeau fired. So the coaching and the best offensive player were both kind of live for them in both of those, and those are now gone. You do not have the better coach. You do not have the best offensive player in this series. If you're going to make an all defensive team, Andy, of these 2 teams, you're going to, just all defense. It's the closing 5 for the Thunder. Those are your 5 best defenders. And that is a problem for the Pacers in terms of end of game offensive execution, in my opinion. And then lastly, the Pacers really kind of put pressure on teams with wave after wave of fresh legs because they were rotating 10 guys in. I dare you to put Obi Toppin on the court against this Thunder team. He is going to get absolutely exposed defensively. I dare you to use Thomas Bryant in this series. He has no business being on the court. Like, the Thunder can match your depth with better players if that's what you choose, if that's what they choose to do, because you are trying to push the pace and blah, blah, blah. And push the pace, I think, is actually a little overblown what the Pacers were doing. They weren't really pushing the pace as much as they were just not lollygagging, getting into their offensive sets, right? Like, they just started their actions sooner in the shot clock. which gave them more time to get a better look and or caught their defensive counterparts by surprise, disorganized, out of place, unable to make the defensive play. And the Thunder are such talented defenders. I just don't see that happening. So ultimately, to me, this is an games under series. Like 222 should be more like the fair than 230, in my opinion. 9.5 for Oklahoma City at home is exactly right. So no issue on the side right now. And I think this is I really think the potential surprise is going to be like, well, what happens if like the Thunder are shooting well, right? Because the Thunder have shot pretty poorly all season, all playoffs long. They have yet to have a series where, they've had moments. Obviously, Lou Dort filling it up in Game 5 against the Nuggets was amazing. They've had some hot shooting in spots from players, but overall, they have not shot well as a team this entire playoffs. And if they shoot well, then this could get real weird real quick in terms of how in the world
weird ugly
real quick. So I don't know, they're a young team, they've never been here before. It's entirely possible that this is the lights being bright affect them in some way, and it takes them a little while to settle down. There could be rust tonight. They haven't played in a week. Like, it has been a long time since we've seen them on the court. My fair price for sweep is plus 150. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I knew it was gonna be obscene.
I have the Thunder at minus 1.5 on the road.
I know.
So yeah.
I
think the Thunder have a 76% chance to win at home and a 65% chance to win on the road.
Okay. First half under. Game 1 under, similar to Super Bowl first half. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe betting Pacers first half, Game 1, if you do think there's rust, but the under is kind of the same, in the same ballpark, I guess. Depends what you think of the Pacers versus this defense. Honestly, if you think it's rusty and Thunder come out a little rusty on offense, I don't know what does rust affect more, Drew? Offense or defense?
Offense.
So, yeah, maybe AJ Donaldson. Great name, AJ. Maybe he's onto something.
I misstated my Thunder price at home, by the way. I'm actually closer to
10?
90 to 80 82%, 85%.
It stinks. It kind of stinks. It's going to be funny if we get just this uncompetitive series while the hockey is just back and forth for 7 games.
Yeah.
Which hockey playoffs are always better anyway. Kind of seems that way, even though I do understand basketball a little better. Like we just said, I don't understand why they dump it in sometimes either. I don't understand penalties. I don't understand embellishment. I don't understand goalie interference. I don't really know what a crease is, but it's still very fun to watch the boys.
I did take one insane long shot bet for the finals MVP. I took some Chet Holmgren. Yeah, I took some Chet Holmgren 80-1. Again, because I think that there's, like, to me, this looks like 90% chance the Thunder win this series, and that it's probably going to be 4 or 5 games. That means that, like, you just need one player to just hit their threes.
Two big games.
2 big games, hit their threes. Yep. Be the points leader. Catch a narrative after game. Get like a killer block in Game 3 of Halliburton driving to the rim for the game-tying back bucket. And people be like, wow, Holmgren, what an amazing emergence he's had these playoffs. He's really what a breakout performance from him. And then the next thing
playing through Marfins.
Also, like, with the small number of voters and the fact that the voters giving it to SGA would be a three-peat of season conference finals, that, like, there's a world where they're, like, stubborn and they're like, I don't know if we want to give them 3, right?
So it's the exact same people,
as far as I know. Well, there's more people for the season. The season, there's like 100 voters. The Western Conference Finals had 9. I
That's
think
not
it's
very
actually.
many.
I think it's the same voters as the. I forget who voted. I don't know anything. I really honestly don't know anything about the voting block, but I know it's small, and I know there's people who have silly opinions where they may think we don't really want to give SGA the clean sweep, even though the Thunder are the story of the they're the story of the NBA season, in my opinion. So we shall see. All right, man.
Yeah, I got a meeting today in 10 minutes, so we can't go too long.
All
I
right.
don't have a whole lot else anyway, but I did want to. Did I mention this on the air yet? We talked and bitched about how there was nothing going on this summer. And our French friend, the food snob, mentioned there is women's Euros.
Is a women's Euros? Oh,
So that it's like a month from now. Literally, it
pretty
doesn't start
competitive,
until July, but kind of gives us something to do in July. I like doing the thing where I bet on every single Euros match.
You know who I like? Spain,
Spain.
España. They are.
Yeah, I haven't looked in that. I'm guessing Spain, Germany, England.
France.
This is your chance to win a championship since the U.S. doesn't get to play in the Euros.
I think Spain won the World Cup, didn't they? The last Women's World Cup that was not won by the United States.
Women's. This is how bad my memory is, I guess, on this. Women's World Cup.
The current champions are España.
Spain. Yeah. Well, fuck, I'd forgotten about that. I just assumed
We haven't won
win.
since 2019, man. And that one was close.
We're
That
embarrassing.
was a fun one, though. That was a fun one. I had a lot of US in that one. I thought I knew what I was doing, handicapping women's international soccer.
So the next, where's the next one?
Where is the next one?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out on the Wikipedia page.
The last one was Australia and New Zealand.
All right, Brazil. Oh,
Brazil. Yeah.
And then the U.S. will host in 2031 after hosting the Men's World Cup. Okay, we'll get into that. We'll bet on that stuff.
Yeah, and actually, that's kind of the perfect content for Deep Dive Daily, if we're being honest.
Well, and honestly, the games, if they're in Europe, which I assume the Euros will be contested mainly in Europe, the games will be on like right now. I mean, there'll be like a 7 a.m. game for me, a 10 a.m. game, and a 1 p.m. game.
Yeah, the women's Euros is hosted
Cups.
in Schweiz.
The whole thing?
Switzerland. Yeah.
How many big towns? I guess you got Bern and Zurich and Geneva.
Yeah, the Geneva, Bern, Sion, Thun, Geneva.
Thun, yeah.
Yeah, St. Gallen, Zurich, Basel, Lucerne.
Oh,
yeah.
It'll be pretty. You know what we might have to be handicapping? We might have to be handicapping.
Cities?
No, altitude. Not all of those cities are down in the meadows.
I don't think any of them are.
A couple of, I mean, Switzerland does vary in altitude. It's not all.
Sion is an alpine valley. Geneva is in an alpine valley. Thun is in an alpine valley. Bern.
We're gonna have to check
Basel.
on the altitudes of these.
Basel's probably your lowest elevation. Zurich's pretty high. St. Gallen is high. Lucerne is high. Yeah, I think these are all cities at altitude. Fun. All right. Closing commentary, and then we'll call it a show.
Yes.
What did you think of season 2 of Andor? I know you're full. You're complete. You're fully.
Not
caught
only
up now,
that,
right?
but yeah, me and my boy, we watched. He didn't watch Andor, but I asked if he'd want to watch Rogue One with me. So we watched some Rogue One too, which that one hit. I'd forgotten. I'd actually brought my daughter to the theater.
Yeah.
When did Rogue One come out? Give me a date.
2017. 2016.
I just looked it up. So we're talking 9 years ago. She would have been 5, but she loved the movies when she was younger. And at the end, when Cassian and Felicity Jones, I can't think of her name, Jyn Erso, are like
Yeah.
on the beach about to die. There's a little intimate moment, and she let out a huge groan when they died. Like, oh, and she said, I thought they were gonna kiss. Like loudly in the theater. Like, she got a laugh in the theater. It was so loud. So that one, I can never like watch that scene and not laugh about it anymore. But Rogue One was so good. A couple of the final episodes were so tense. They were,
Yeah.
I mean, the tension, even just the stupid going to the hospital to take care of
Yeah.
business there. Like the tension was really good.
It was awesome.
And I think the payoff was good.
Absolutely.
And I joked with you too in the Twitter. I texted you. I love that they put Mon Mothma in this stupid haircut to make her character match. And I had to go check. They did use the same actor.
A New Hope.
Well, to match A New Hope, but I didn't realize she was the same actress from Rogue One.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't ever go look that up.
Yeah. The only person I know that they swapped was Bail Organa, and they went from Smits to Benjamin Bratt, which is a hilarious. Those guys have been on each other's corner trying to get the same jobs for 30 years. I'm sure
they run into each other in every
casting,
every single
every
audition.
casting audition. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys. Hey Ben.
Yeah.
Hey Jim.
But overall I thought that was really well done. That is a lock for my top 5 shows, and a lock for nominee for the Divies best shows of the year. I don't have much else to add, but I am glad that they didn't kiss at the end of Rogue One, because that would have actually stepped on some of the canon that they built in Andor with Bix. Like, it's pretty clear that Andor has feelings for someone and wouldn't just in a matter of 2 weeks fall in love with some random.
Was pretty hot.
Yeah, but and you're gonna die, I guess. But you're about to die. But yeah, no, that whole. Oh, sorry, I just said spoiler alert. Maybe some people didn't know they'd die at the end of Rogue One.
I mean, the movie's 10 years old. We're a lot.
Also, who really spoils it is Leia in the message to Obi-Wan. Like many rebel spies died.
Many Bothans died to get this information.
Was it Bothans?
I think that's a different part.
I said rebel spies.
That's not in her message, but that's when they're all in the in the group setting and like those.
Mon Mothma is the one who
many Bothans died to get this information. Okay, let's call it a day.
All right, man.
We'll be back for tomorrow. Some wine racks. We'll talk about Estella. Every Skarsgård ever is good.
I'll have some more to say about the NBA Finals with the game under the belt, so that'll be good.
All right, we'll catch you guys for Friday. When I knock my table, it makes my camera shake a little.
Looks like you're having an earthquake.